folks okay?
In the 1970s, you've got maybe 3 channels to choose from, and when your favorite show made a bold move, there was no streaming service to cushion the blow. The stakes were higher back then. Writers and producers knew they had audiences by the throat, and they weren't afraid to make choices that would leave viewers talking for decades. And boy, did they succeed. Today, we're counting down the most divisive moments from 1970s television. So grab your TV guide and settle in, because we're about to revisit some of the most argued about moments in television history. The summer of 1980, the entire nation was asking one question, and it wasn't about the presidential election. Who shot J.R. Ewing? When the answer was finally revealed, it was Kristen, his mistress and sister-in-law. The reactions ranged from brilliant misdirection to, "That's it?" Supporters loved the psychological complexity. It wasn't about the shooter, one Dallas devotee argued online. It was about showing how JR's corruption poisoned everyone around him, even family. The disappointed camp felt cheated. After months of speculation, they picked the most obvious suspect who already had a dozen reasons to hate him. Where's the shock value? Still, at least Dallas fans got their answer. The mystery in our next entry just vanished into thin air. Poor Chuck Cunningham. Richie's older brother appeared in early episodes, then disappeared without explanation, never to be mentioned again. This became so infamous that this was called the Chuck Cunningham syndrome, after characters who vanish from shows without acknowledgement. The Who Cares faction points out that Chuck was barely a character to begin with. He had maybe 3 lines per episode, dismisses one Happy Days historian. His disappearance didn't change the family dynamic at all, but the respect continuity crowd can't let it go. It's lazy writing. One line, "Chuck moved to college," would have fixed everything. Instead, they gaslit an entire generation of viewers. But character exits were about to get much more expensive in our next controversy. When Farah Fawcett left after just 1 season to pursue a movie career, it sent shockwaves throughout pop culture. Her iconic poster had sold millions, and suddenly the most famous angel was flying away. Enter Cheryl Ladd as Chris Monroe, Jill's younger sister. Fans of Farah argue the show never recovered after her exit. Farah wasn't just an actor, she was a phenomenon, noted one entertainment blogger. The show became just another action series after she left, while fans of Cheryl say that she brought better acting and chemistry. Cheryl could actually deliver dialogue convincingly. The show improved when it stopped being the Farah show. Speaking of workplace chemistry changes, our next entry proves that comedy timing is everything. When Suzanne Summers demanded equal pay to her male co-star and got fired instead, Three's Company replaced her with cousin Cindy, then later Terry. The show continued for 4 more seasons, but was the magic gone? Watch early episodes versus later ones, suggests a fan. Suzanne's timing made Joyce and John funnier. Without her, it became generic slapstick. The fans of Priscilla disagree. Priscilla Barnes brought sophistication to the role. The later seasons had better storylines once they stopped relying on the dumb blonde jokes. But at least Three's Company acknowledged its cast changes. Our next show just pretended nothing happened. First, let us pause here and let me know in the comments below. Have you been nodding along with any of these debates so far? Are you team characters should never change, or team evolution keeps shows fresh? Please give this video a like and subscribe for more debates. When Richard Thomas left the Waltons to pursue other projects, the show replaced him with Robert Whiteman for the final 3 seasons. Both actors played John Boy, but fans noticed the difference immediately. Whiteman fans argue that he captured the character's essence perfectly. He had the same gentle wisdom and storytelling voice, argued one Waltons fan site moderator. If you weren't looking for differences, you might not notice. Thomas fans, though, couldn't get past the switch. Richard Thomas was John Boy. It's like replacing Luke Skywalker halfway through the original trilogy. Technically possible, but why would you? Our next controversy involves an off-screen decision that still breaks hearts. When Gene Stapleton decided not to continue with Archie Bunker's Place, the spin-off killed off beloved Edith before the second season. Fans learned about her death through dialogue, never seeing Archie properly grieve on camera. Edith deserved dignity, not a ratings-grab death scene, wrote one classic TV blogger. Gene Stapleton's choice to leave should be honored, but some felt cheated out of closure. After 8 years of loving this woman, we deserve to see Archie say goodbye properly. The off-screen death felt like a budget cut, not a creative choice. But speaking of moral complexity, our next entry dove into genuinely murky waters. Most Columbo episodes featured cleverly evil murderers getting their comeuppance, but A Friend Indeed complicated things by showing a corrupt police commissioner who might actually be the lesser of two evils compared to his blackmailer. Some fans felt this undermined the show's moral clarity. Real life isn't black and white, argued one mystery fan forum. This episode showed Columbo could handle adult themes without losing its charm, while others said, "We watch Columbo to see justice served, not to question whether the victim deserved it. This episode left me feeling gross instead of satisfied." The Mary Tyler Moore Show's finale featured the entire WJM newsroom staff getting fired, leading to a group hug that lasted nearly 2 minutes of screen time. For some viewers, this was television perfection. For others, it was emotional manipulation. Those who thought this was the perfect ending considers this the gold standard of sitcom finales. 7 years of character development paid off in one moment, gushed a TV Land retrospective. You felt their genuine love for each other. But others found it forced. The hug went on forever because they knew it would make people cry, not because it felt natural. Sometimes less emotion is more impactful. But workplace changes weren't always so emotionally satisfying, as our next entry proves. The Rockford Files' final seasons featured noticeably fewer car chases, less location shooting, and more confined sets. Was this budget-conscious evolution or creative decline? Those who thought this was an evolution say the show improved by focusing on character development. Less car crashes, more Jim Rockford being clever with words, defended one classic TV podcast host. The show matured along with its audience. But those who like the original style of the show say they miss the action. Early Rockford had energy and movement. Tell us in the comments, which side are you on in these debates so far? Do you prefer shows that stay true to their original vision, or ones that evolve and take risks? And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss what's next. Some characters got budget cuts, while others simply vanished. Our next controversy involves a disappearance that fans still can't explain. When Dan Blocker died suddenly in 1972, Bonanza faced an impossible situation. They chose not to address Hoss's absence directly, instead having characters occasionally reference when Hoss comes back or similar vague statements. Some understood the respectful silence and the creative dilemma. I mean, how do you kill off America's favorite gentle giant, asked a Bonanza fan club newsletter. But those who wanted closure found the approach confusing and disrespectful to viewers' intelligence. Kids were asking parents, "Where did Hoss go?" A simple "Hoss died helping others" would have honored both the character and the actor. At least Bonanza tried to handle the loss with dignity. Our next show just made things awkward. When Abe Vigoda's Detective Fish left for his own spin-off series, Barney Miller lost one of its most beloved characters. Fish lasted 2 seasons while Barney Miller continued for 4 more, but was the precinct ever the same? Some fans say both shows benefited. Fish got stories tailored to his character instead of just being the old guy making wisecracks, noted a sitcom historian. And Barney Miller could explore younger characters more deeply, while some others felt the chemistry was irreplaceable. Fish was the heart of that squad room. Without him, it became just another workplace comedy instead of a family. Fish may have left voluntarily, but our next heroes had their tone yanked out from under them. The final season of Starsky and Hutch shifted from buddy cop fun to darker, more violent storylines. The series finale was particularly grim, with Hutch nearly dying from poison. A few appreciated the seriousness. The show grew up along with the actors, argued a 1970s TV retrospective. Real police work isn't all jokes and car chases. The final season felt more authentic, while others wanted their fun back. We watched for 4 seasons of friendship and humor. The dark turn felt like a different show wearing Starsky and Hutch masks. Up next, a wedding that never happened. Steve Austin and Jamie Summers were supposed to get married in a 2-part episode, but Jamie died from bionic rejection. When Lindsay Wagner's character proved popular enough for resurrection and her own spin-off, the wedding was permanently postponed, leaving fans in romantic limbo. Team Better Apart argues the separation maintained dramatic tension. Married superheroes are boring, claimed one sci-fi forum regular. The will they, won't they kept both shows interesting. Meanwhile, Team Give Us Closure wanted their payoff. 5 seasons of build-up deserved a proper conclusion. They kept teasing the relationship without delivering, which felt like stringing viewers along for ratings. But no controversy from the 1970s generates more passionate debate than our number 1 entry. Lieutenant Theo Kojak started as a tough, streetwise cop who bent rules and intimidated suspects with his bald-headed intensity. By the final seasons, he'd softened considerably, more fatherly mentor than hard-boiled detective. Did he lose what made him special, or did he evolve into something better? Team Lost His Edge mourns the original Kojak. Early Telly Savalas was magnetic because he was dangerous, wrote one crime show enthusiast. You believed he could break you in an interrogation room. Later, Kojak felt like everybody's favorite uncle who happened to carry a badge. Meanwhile, team character growth sees natural evolution. Real people change over time. Kojak learned that kindness could be more effective than intimidation. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The Kojak controversy perfectly encapsulates why these 1970s debates endure. They're really arguments about what we want from our entertainment. Do we prefer consistency or evolution, safety or risk, simple morality or complex humanity? So there you have it. 14 shows that prove the 1970s didn't just give us great television. They gave us television worth fighting about. These shows took risks that modern TV executives might be too focus group tested to attempt. If you enjoyed this trip through TV's most argued about decade, hit that subscribe button. Until then, keep watching, keep arguing, and remember, the best television is the kind that still gets people talking 50